What's going on, people? Welcome back to Arsenal Football Channel. At the time of recording, Arsenal has just came out victors against Brentford, and that is something that is not surprising to me. It was hard work, but I won't focus on what the headlines will be tomorrow. The headlines will be Kai Havertz gets off the bench late and give Arsenal the winner to go top of the table. That's a beautiful headline indeed. Oh, I'm so happy for Kai Havertz. I have a friend who is also a loyal Arsenal supporter, and I said, watch out for this season. Kai Havertz arrived late at the far post to put the ball in the back of the net, and for the first time this season we are seeing it, and I am so overjoyed to one see it executed, two for Kai Havertz to get his first goal from open play, and three for the victory. It is an amazing feeling, especially because Brentford is not an easy game, especially at their home. Brentford is one of the most organized team, in my opinion, in the Premier League in terms of keeping their shape, playing the low block, and playing it well. They're a very well drilled team, and I think we saw that today. And at some point, same friend of mine, he messaged me and he said it looked like it's going to be a draw, and I said no, we will find it. We will score for this match, and we ended up scoring. So let's talk about the match a little bit, apart from the victory, which was well deserved in the end. I think the team that deserved the victory got it today, even though Brentford played very well. And as I said, it was expected. Brentford is no mugs. They are no mugs. They are a very organized team. Thomas Frank is a very good coach as well. Kudos to him. So the way the game started out, I expected Brentford very organized in a low block. Their crowd was up for it. Our crowd, while I'm on that, our fans were loud throughout the game. I loved it. I must say shout out to the fans because they did a good job and they were singing. They got to sing the Kai Havertz song at the end. Damina, mina, waka waka, 60 million, na na na. Kai Havertz score again. You know what I mean? So shout out to the fans. The fans were good throughout, but their fans were obviously on it. They were singing loudly. They were jeering Ramsdale as was expected. Because remember, Ramsdale comes back into this game because this is Raya's home club, Brentford, and so he was ineligible to play this game. And that is a good segue to talk about what happened in the game. In the game, Ramsdale was a nervous wreck, especially for the first half. Ramsdale was doing, and I was not surprised. That is not Ramsdale standards, but as I always say, football is a very emotional sport. Energy is something that you have to pay very close attention to in football, and we saw that playing out with Ramsdale between the sticks. He was a nervous wreck. He was miskicking the ball. He almost gave up a goal, a very easy goal, because he was passing when he was not supposed to pass. He was making the wrong pass. There was another time where he threw the ball and it dropped almost in front of him. So Ramsdale, he just needed to be himself, play his own game, but he was trying to overdo it. And listen, I say this. It will take more than one game to impress Arteta if that's what he was trying to do. He just needed to calm down and he needed to play his game. And in the second half, he did much better. So kudos to Ramsdale. Ramsdale, hold your head up. Hold your head up. And I'm not going to get too much into the Ramsdale Raya saga and Ramsdale dad and all of that. What I will say is, if you're playing for a team like Arsenal, you are expected to fight for your spot. And whenever you're not doing that, you can move on to some other team, a smaller team. That will not be the case. But Ramsdale's position is no different, in my opinion. And my coach, Mikel Arteta, has said this many times. You know what I mean? So second half, he did much better. And overall, we can say, okay, he was okay. He was nervous, in the first half, but he came off and he finished off very well. So shout out to Ramsdale. Hopefully he will take this and he will try to improve his game and improve his mental space, because as you know, even though we expect that at a big club, mentally it can mean different to different people. So that was the case with Ramsdale. Tactically, we were playing wide expansive as usual, but Brentford with that back five, they were doing everything that they were supposed to do, right? And they would have trained for this over and over and over and over, right? And as I said, Brentford is a very, very hard team to break down. But it was more or less what I expected from Arsenal versus Brentford game, this Arsenal. But I was always confident that we were going to score, even though we left it very, very, very late. But I was always confident. I thought tactically we were a bit predictable. I would have wanted to see us move the ball quicker. And I have in my notes that it took us on the 77th minute to have a shot from outside of the box. And I would want to see us do that some more. Not necessarily being wasteful, but the persons who can strike the ball, I'd like to see that. And we waited until very late in the match to start taking these shots on goal. And I would like to see that more, especially with teams like Brentford that they set up in this way. So tactically, that is what happened from start and at the end. The tactical substitution from Mikel Arteta, where he brought on Kai Havertz, which I mentioned before, and he brought Martinelli off, which was a big call. So shout out to Mikel. That was a very good call from him. End of the game, Kai Havertz has the height. He's 6 feet plus. And so if we are putting crosses in the box, we need a bigger, taller player there. And Kai Havertz showed up clutch for us and gave us the winner. But it was tactically very good from both coaches. At the end, Mikel Arteta came out on top. But I would say a good tactical plan from both coaches. Another thing tactically, what I saw was the lineup. We probably had our most attacking lineup on the field from the get-go. And I like that because a team like Brentford, we need that trickery. We need those players who are good with the ball at their feet. We would have need that to move the ball quickly, even though we weren't seeing it very much. But I like the lineup that I saw. Kai Havertz was out. Trossard was in. We had our front three in Jesus, Saka, Martinelli. We had Odegaard. So as you can imagine, we had Rice shielding that defense. So that is a very, very attacking team. And that was what I thought was needed, even though it wasn't being executed to the best of their ability. But the tactical wise, I thought the right players were out there. A few players of note that I thought was one, Kai Havertz, who, as I said, I'm so happy for Kai Havertz, and hopefully he kicks on now, and we get the Arsenal Kai now, and we see the best of him with this goal, right? Zini was playing okay. He was playing good in that. But one thing I want to say with Zini, sometimes Zini, I think he needs to look more to his right. It's like he just sees that Martinelli outlet all the time. This is not how he always plays, but in this game, I wanted him to come inside, turn, look inside for the pass a bit more. And I didn't get that from Zini today. But he was okay on the day. Another significant change that occurred was Jesus coming off for Eddie. Eddie came on, and Eddie, it was a good change to me because Jesus wasn't affecting the game much, and Eddie is, of course, our high school scorer now, and he's a fox in the box. He can find a goal. But we actually got a chance that at the moment I was like, why don't you turn inside and pass the ball? There we have, I think, a 3v2 on the break, and Eddie got the ball, and he has Odegaard and Saka to his right, and he chose to take on the shot, and I thought that was not the best choice for him to take. So just small moments like this, it can make the difference when a game is this tight. We need players to be sharp and make the right decisions in these moments because the margins are very, very tiny. And I thought in that moment, Eddie made the wrong decision. But in the end, it did not cost us. So that is still good. Another player who I think was worth mentioning is Declan Rice. Declan Rice was playing in the position that I like to see Declan Rice play in, shielding that defense, and he's just cleaning up everything. When he can go forward, he goes forward, and his cover comes back and slot in nicely. Declan Rice was his usual self. Declan Rice is I was comparing him to another player that we were linked to in Moises Caicedo, and I'm like, wow, I was wrong about this, because I was one of the people who thought that Caicedo would be a better option. But Declan Rice, he's so commanding, he's such a leader. Shout out to Declan Rice as well. But all in all, I think it was a good game from us. It was the way I expected it to play out. Good in the sense that we got the victory. We're still not as fluid as I want us to be, but we are getting the victory, and that is the most important thing. Another important thing to note is that defensively, we have been the best in the Premier League. We do not give away a lot, and I love that about this Arsenal team. Everyone is on the ball. We are not making a lot of individual errors, apart from we did have a few today coming from Ramsdale. Zinchenko at one point, because Zinchenko gave away the ball, he had to come back, and probably the best chance of the day for Brentford came from that play where Zinchenko had to come back, rectify the mistake, and clear the ball off the line. But overall, I'm not going to be very critical of the boys, because we got the victory and they kept plugging away until in the end we got there and we got the 3 points. Now we're top of the table. Hopefully we stay there for the remainder of the season and we come out victors. As you know, as I always say, what the goal is. Our goal is to get that league. That is my prediction. So with that, I will say until next time, walk good. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe on the video. And we will speak very soon on another Arsenal game. Peace to you. Peace to your families. I'm out. Walk good.